one of the things that really stopped me when I was growing up was the environment that I grew up in, loving, awesome, dig my family, love my family. They're amazing people and I love them and they're supportive. But they had an idea of what life should look like, right? Like, go to school, get a degree, become a teacher, get married, have a family, that kind of stuff. Very early on, I knew that that was not me and it didn't fit right. And I guess, I don't know, I guess I would like just do what feels right for you as an artist. And it's okay that there are people who say, oh, I don't know, I don't think that's a good idea. It's okay, because it's not a good idea for them, but you do what makes you feel good, and you do what lights you up and brings you joy.
Laughing Vikings Live. High vibe chats with actors, comedians, and creators, plus stand-up comedy, sketch comedy, and most importantly, you. That's right, join us every Monday for new episodes, and you can be a part of the show on Facebook Live, YouTube Live, and Twitch. Ask questions and interact in the comments, and make sure to share this with your actor, comedian, and creator friends so they can be a part of the show too. Can't make a live show? No problem. You can catch up on your favorite podcast platform and visit laughingvikings.com to find out how you can join the cast and crew. All right, it's time for today's show. Buckle up and make sure you stick around to the end because we have a special surprise for you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is Laughing Vikings Live. Happy Monday Fun Day. Let's go.
Oh, yeah. There we go. Oh, is the podcast on?
Am I interrupting anything?
I didn't even realize the podcast was on. I was just standing here candidly and nonchalantly as I do.
I can go. I can leave.
No, it's good. I was just doing my my exercises.
His exercises.
Welcome everyone. Sorry about the gun show. For those of you who didn't have tickets, that was a free show for you. Those who did have tickets, thank you for supporting the gun show.
And those of you just listening, well, you're shit out of luck.
This is the reason that you need to sometimes tune in live and watch the show.
Yeah.
Because right now you're just getting the audio and you probably still don't even know. Like I'm saying gun show, but was I flashing TV guns or was I flashing TV guns? Huh?
We'll never know.
It's a flex off. Welcome. This is episode 108. 108. Usually we try to say witty things about the number, but I can't think of a single thing that has to do with 108. So this is just episode 108.
108.
Anyone? 108.
108. Nope.
Like, for
We're
example,
going to make 108 very interesting.
Episode
that's
90.
what I'm guaranteeing right now.
Often, well, the thing is, often we're using sports analogies like the sports jerseys. So, like episode 99 was with the Wayne Gretzky episode. Episode 23 is the Michael Jordan episode. But I don't know. 108. Does 108 ring a bell? 108 Dalmatians. Is that it?
No.
Remember that?
No, that's 101.
No, that was the working title. Was actually 108, and then they fired 7 of the dogs because they hadn't learned their lines.
Sometimes Dalmatians are, pardon my French, bitches.
Yes, even more so than Cruella de Vil sometimes.
Yeah.
But if you look closely, I don't know if you've watched the movie, but if you watch and you count them all in every scene, there's a few where there's 108. They shot some of it. They shot the first half.
They let a couple of the puppies slip or something, or
well, they had to fire them because they were not hitting their marks and they were spacing out on their lines.
So when did they change it to 101 Dalmatians?
Like during production, they had to finish it, and they're like, "What are we gonna do? We shot all these scenes with 108 Dalmatians, and then they're like, no one's gonna notice. Just call it 101." And but somebody did.
Somebody did.
Fun fact.
Yep.
Brandon, we've got some exciting news. We've actually got tons of exciting news. I'm really excited for this episode. We have a fantastic guest I won't announce her yet, but she is one of our most recent audition session directors here at Laughing Vikings Actors Audition Club. We love her, and you guys are going to love her too. I've got a special announcement / gift for some people on this episode today too. So I'm going to announce that later. And I want to talk about this with you, Brandon, because you were on the show last week, but kind of off camera for the most part because you were not feeling well. No COVID, was not COVID. We weren't going to talk about this because who wants to talk about health stuff after a global pandemic? But I also think it's kind of funny, so we can talk about it. You had tonsillitis.
Yes.
You had the itis of the tonsils, which is inflammation of the tonsils, which is funny because I didn't know you were only 14 years old.
Neither did I.
You do have that baby face. Brandon's regularly has chicken pox and tonsillitis.
Yes.
But your tonsils are okay now. You were having some pain in your tonsils, and you went and got it checked out. They gave you an antibiotic, and now you're good to go. So welcome back. We missed you. How you feeling?
It's good to be back. I'm feeling great, and I'm really glad that I went to go see the doctor about it. And so I'm feeling it's nice to be back.
What can happen if you didn't? Like, we just get super infected, or you get a blood infection, or
probably,
Did people back in the day die of tonsillitis?
I don't think I could have stood another day without going to see a doctor.
Was it painful to swallow and talk?
Yeah.
And eat? Were you eating?
Yeah. Oh, I couldn't eat. I didn't eat for 3 days.
Just like eating shards of glass, when you have strep throat or when you have tonsillitis.
Yeah.
Well,
and it was only on one side. Like, it had grown so much, it was basically touching my back. Like, what's the dangly thing? The loot.
I think that's it. Dangly thing is
dangly thing.
The official name.
It was basically touching
uvula.
Is it uvula?
Yeah, I believe so. Or is it epiglottis? I think uvula is the thing that dangles down, and epiglottis is the thing that covers your trachea so that when you're drinking, you don't drown yourself.
It's a good thing we're not a science podcast, Lars.
Yes, speaking of science, it's also a good thing that your doctor gave you antibiotics. One time I went to the doctor and he made the mistake of giving me biotics, and it made it way worse. I was like, aren't these supposed to be antibiotics? And he's like, no, I'm the doctor.
No.
Trust me. Have these. And then I came back a week later and I was way worse. It was just basically feeding my infection.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So did they give you antibiotics later on, or?
Then they eventually gave me I was like, were these supposed to be antibiotics or they gave me probiotics. They gave me a bunch of yogurt. They gave me a bunch of yogurt the first time. So here's the reason that I wanted to bring this up a little bit, because you actually got the tonsillitis in and around shooting. You were recently on a TV series. We won't talk about the details because you probably signed an NDA, and we know in the business that we're not usually able to share all the details until after things have been released. But I want to talk about your experience. You were on a great set last week, so tell us what you learned, tell us what you experienced, how it went.
I was there doing a one-line role. It was a small role, and it was great that I was able to book it, and it was great to be part of that team. So I showed up on set, and I wasn't used the very first day, and then I showed back up the next day and was used.
Which can we just point out that that sounds like a bummer, and it kind of is, to be there all day and you're getting yourself ramped up. Is this my scene? Is this my scene? But the beautiful thing about when that happens is you get paid for another day. So you got double pay for that. Amazing.
Yeah.
To hang out.
I fell asleep. It was great.
Which is also why I always realize and have gratitude for crew, because as hard as actors work and we have some long schedules and on set can be a bit of a grind, it's nothing compared to crew. So thank you for all your crew people. Actors, often we're just hanging out in holding or in our trailer or wherever we need to be. Craft services is a great spot to hang out. Okay, so you brought back second day, day 2. Tell us how it went down.
So I was driven to set, and I get there, and they set up a basic 2-shot. So it was 2 cameras filming 1 location, and I'm the center basically. And so it was done very quickly. We did about 3 takes of it. And the thing I focused on the most while I was there was making sure that I could grab the key off the hook without really. I had a prop on set, and so I wanted to make sure that I grabbed that efficiently and looked like I knew what I was doing.
Right. Look like you've done it 10,000 times because
Exactly.
that's your gig. Yeah. So
Mhm.
that was like your blocking, your secondary action, and you had a couple
Mhm.
lines in there as well.
Yep.
Which is actually hilarious because I'm sure everyone's experienced this. The most simplest, mundane, everyday task, like just taking your wallet out of your pocket or grabbing some cash out of a wallet, or like literally anything, opening a sandwich, or opening the a cap on a water bottle or something like that. All
Mhm.
of a sudden, when you got all kinds of cameras and 50 people and the stakes are high and it's action, sometimes those simple things, you're like, do I even know how to human being? Do I
Mhm.
know how to do this? So even like grab some keys. If you don't have that down, then you could feel kind of weird doing it. And obviously your
Yeah.
character needs to look
Well,
like
because
someone who's learned a
imagine
million
like
times.
you've got everything set up, you have all the actors in place, you have everything going for you, and then you're like, oh sorry, I can't get this off the hook. How do I do I can't get this off the can someone come and help me, please? I can't get
Right.
this off the hook. And it's
And they're
just
like,
like,
this fucking guy, just pick up the
wow,
goddamn
okay,
key.
we just need you to grab keys and hand it to someone. Like, it's not rocket
Right.
science.
Right. Which let's talk about your prep though, and then we'll kind of tie your prep into that and why you prep so hard. Yeah.
Well, because I knew I wanted it to be quick. Like, the more efficient, I believe the more efficient you are on set, the more likely that someone is going to bring you back. Because, like, if you get it done quickly and effectively, then what's the harm
Right.
in bringing someone back like that,
Yeah,
right?
it
And maybe we'll give
makes
them
you
a bit
very
more.
valuable if they're never waiting on you, because they're always
Hmm.
waiting on sound, they're waiting on lights, they're waiting on
Yes.
props, they're waiting on sunlight or sunset or all kinds of wonky, waiting on batteries, they're waiting on
Hmm.
a card swap, a lens swap. So yeah, if you're an actor who is like, man, he's always nailing it, his takes are great, we're never waiting for him. Uh, he's not missing, gone. Where did he go?
Hmm.
Oh, I think he's 10-1, 10-2 maybe.
Yeah.
Which is
And the thing that I really took to heart for this one, Tom has been saying a lot, act like the actor that you want to be. And I want to be a lead actor that is on set every single day. And
right.
so I approached it like that. And I approached it, and I'm not sure if I said this on this podcast or not, but I said I wanted to do it 250 ways and click it out 250 times. And I did that. I
And
reached that goal.
to clarify, what Brandon is saying is his one line or 2 lines that he had to have rehearsed them 250 times.
Yes. And like, it honestly, for one line, it doesn't take that long. It can, if you do it quickly, it can take like an hour.
Right.
But I spaced it out over several weeks. I had, and like, I would do a couple a day, and or like 10 or 12, something like that, and I would just work at it continuously. And so when I got on set, I knew exactly what I needed to do. I knew what I needed to say, and I focused on the little things that would make me more efficient and more effective on the day, so that it was done. And I'm really proud to say it was done in 3 takes. And I think
Nailed
one
it.
of those was a rehearsal. So 3 or 2 takes.
Right.
And like, it was done. And I was done.
Right. Which is huge. Like that prep. I mean, regardless of whether it was a smaller one-line actor type role or a leading role, is you go in with all that prep, then it's in your body. You don't even have to think about it. It's just there. You know what you're doing. But then that frees you up. And Tom talks about this too. Is it's one thing to be prepped, just to know the lines, but it's another when you're prepped and then they throw in lights, cameras, location. Oh, we've changed some of the lines now. We changed some of the blocking. We're going to change some of the action, all the other distractions and things, and the time pressure and AD yelling at everybody that we got to go, we got to go, we got to go. And you don't want to be that one actor that's holding things up. And they're like, oh man, because let's talk about this too. Is the reality is you can still be fired on set if things aren't going well, or if you're holding production up. It can be like, you're out of there. And who do we got? Oh, okay, we're gonna throw the lighting guy and sometimes an AD or a producer who's off camera for a quickie. It's like, here, throw this wardrobe on, run in there and say this line. We got to get this and we got to go. So tell us about your backup.
There was a backup character for me, or backup actor for me when I was on set. I saw someone that had the exact same costume, and they're like, bringing in backup clerk. And I heard that. I saw him. I looked at him. He was wearing the exact same costume. And I heard them go, no, we got it. And like, that was it. But like, there was someone there in case I didn't get it right.
Right. And chances are in this world, it was also probably a COVID backup, since they're booking people. They don't ever, if someone doesn't test negative on their COVID test, then all of a sudden they're missing an actor that can blow a whole day. So for a smaller part like that, it's cheaper for them to just then, rather than risk something happening to you, COVID wise, they have that person on backup. But also they're there if you're not cutting it, then that's some pressure. I want that, and that guy is just like, please fuck up your line. Please fuck up. Like, he's like, that's great. That's.
I mean, he wasn't on set long enough for him.
You're like, get out of here. Get out of here.
Come on.
And then if they do bring him in, you just don't move. You're like,
I'm not leaving.
So congratulations. So it went well. You nailed it in 3 takes.
Yep.
Beautiful. Professional, did exactly what you wanted to do. And like we talk about those functionary characters, it's not about you. So they're not going to be spending all day to get your shot and get your scene. It's about the main characters. So you just got to play your part.
And like, they had already been shooting some outside shots that had gotten rained out. And like, they still needed to do the most complicated shot of the day. And the fact that we got it done so quickly is a good thing, because it put them ahead so that they could focus on the most difficult scenes ahead.
Which is almost unheard of, to be ahead of schedule on a film or a TV set is like, So you're a dream to the producer, to the director, to the assistant director. A day where you're ahead of schedule is it's a rarity and a blessing, and everyone can relax instead of usually everyone's 2 hours behind, and sometimes people are screaming and a little extra stressed out. But you be the solution. You're the guy who solves everyone's problem. You're like, oh man, he's a pro, and let's get him back. He's not going to be an issue. He's fun to talk to. And then
it's like, maybe it's like, oh, well, then I don't feel as bad about paying him for 2 days.
Right.
Like, I was there for 2 days, and like, imagine if I had fucked up.
Well, then you got like an hour. Like, think your day rate is only like infinitesimal. Let me try that again. Infinitesimally smaller than the hourly burn rate of the budget. So if you cost them an extra hour or two, that compared to your day, it's like you're costing them 50 grand an hour or 100 grand an hour or whatever the rate might be to pay everybody. That's huge. So congrats. Welcome back.
Thank you. It's great to be back. So you know what? I think I really liked what you did last week, Lars, while I wasn't around to help you with the organization of this. So I think we should bring out our guest right away. What do you think? And then let them tell a story. What do you say? And then show a clip.
So we'll do the clip after.
Yeah.
All right. That we can do.
Yeah. Why don't you want to give her an intro?
I can give her an intro.
Thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the moment you've been waiting for. This is episode 108. Our guest is an actor. You might recognize her from Hannibal, from Web of Lies, from Motives and Murders, Cracking the Case. And she is one of our most recent audition session directors here at Actors Audition Club. Drum roll, please. Please welcome to the studio, Cheryl Poirier.
Sorry. Just like join in the gun show.
Wow. All right,
What you did there.
Walk in on the gun show, everybody. All right.
Comedy. That's called the
Yeah,
callback,
hi.
ladies and gentlemen.
Hey,
hello.
it is so great to see you guys.
It's so great to have you here.
Like I'm having a little FOMO though. I was gonna be in the studio to do it, but then I wanted to stay in my pajamas as long as possible. So
Smart.
I am here at home, but feeling you.
Yes, I believe you.
Oh.
Other shoulder. There you go.
Nice.
Yes. Welcome. We're so happy to have you here. You've been running sessions here at the studio for a handful of weeks now, maybe a month. Or is it when did you come?
Yeah,
on board?
I think I started shadowing about a month ago, and I have been in the studio doing them for like this is like week 3.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Well, we love your energy. We love you as part of the studio. I know that our clients and our actor clients love working with you. We're going to get into all of that. But first, Cheryl, I believe you've done some, what I'm going to call cheating on this. So Cheryl went ahead and realized that the first thing we always ask is our 1-minute life story. And she's made notes. But there you go. It's a testament to your preparation.
You just want to read them? You just want to read them?
Yeah, I'll read them if I can read them in 60 seconds or less. No, we got to give it to you here. All right.
Okay, awesome.
Brandon, Brandon has your timer. So there's the timer.
Okay.
Got it.
It's going to count
and,
up.
I will give you the intro. No pressure. No pressure at all.
No.
Everyone, only one person has completely blown this and had to be executed as a result. Only one person. Everyone else is.
Well, now I'm glad I'm not in the studio.
We take our podcasting very, very seriously.
I can tell.
No, there is no danger. You're in zero danger. No people have been executed for those that are policing the podcast world right now. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is Cheryl Poirier's 1-minute life story starting now.
I was born in Montreal, lived there till I was 5, but didn't go to school, so my French isn't that great, although it is getting better because I travel through Quebec every year to go visit my parents who now live in Prince Edward Island. But I did most of my growing up in the Halton Hills area, went to high school in Brampton, and then I went to York University Theater, and then I graduated with a degree in sociology and political science. And then I bummed around for a few years, and then I went back to school to be a massage therapist, and I've been a massage therapist. I was a massage therapist for 20 years. In the meantime, I have been a Zumba instructor. I've worked retail. What else? Oh, okay. So then I did the whole like improv deal at Second City, all their intro courses. I did the conservatory, and then I did things like musical improv and how to do improv with animals and stuff like that. And then, like I already said, I was a Zumba instructor. I actually have done a couple of Tom Tordoff.
Ding.
So that's it. Tom Tordoff workshops, and then I did Miss Download, and I like to think of myself as a self-care advocate, and now I work for you guys.
Ding 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 ding.
Oh, 10 seconds over.
We might have to penalize you. You will have a couple points penalized by the Russian judges for going over time, but that was a stellar job.
I overcorrected. Yeah.
Great. So I want to back up and just say you are born in Montreal, because I have to admit, I'm embarrassed to say it, your last name is one of the very few last names that I have always struggled with. I know another guy, his name is Jared Poirier. And I believe it's because it's en français, it's Poirier.
Yeah, there's a little, because there's a little roll in there with the R if you want to get specific about it. But so what I tell people is it's like Sidney Poitier, but with an R. So Poirier.
Cheryl Poirier. So it's not Poirier.
Although I was thinking of changing it to Poitier, because why not?
Why not? Cheryl am I getting it right? Cheryl Poirier.
You are getting warmer.
All right. Well, progress and growth. All right. The other thing that I just noticed in your 1 minute life story is you've got, you do really have a lot of what you'd call like coaching and or teaching background. That's always been something that you've been into.
Yeah, it's funny. My mom was a teacher for like she started teaching when she was 18. She got her teaching certificate. So she taught for a really long time. My sister was a teacher. She still is a teacher actually. So my family's like big teachers. And when I wanted to go to university, I actually wanted to go to Ryerson or Sheridan for theater. And my parents were like, you should go to university so you can get a degree and then get a teaching certificate because you're going to be a teacher. And I was like, I'm not going to be a teacher because you can't hit kids. So I didn't want to be in a classroom with them. I love children now. But yeah, so it's one of those, it's just kind of one of those things that's, it's an environment that I've always been around. I have a lot of empathy for teachers and what they go through, and like, you know, they need those 2 months off in the summer. We had a joke at home that we always knew summer was coming because by mid-June, my mom was unbearable to be around. Like, it's just like report cards, parents, kids, teachers, you know, like principals, like it was just like by the end of the year, they're like, ooh, so it's like, yeah. So I would never want to work in a school on a regular basis, but I do like to tell people what to do.
You like to help people, I think is what you
I like to assist people. I like to give people a different context for what they're doing, right? Yeah, so.
So tell us about how you got into performing. Do you remember your very first performance ever? Something in school or whatever age it was? Here we go.
Yes. I was in grade 4 and I was one half of Tweedledee and Tweedledum in the trial of Alice in Wonderland, which was music.
Wow. Do you remember lines?
Please tell me about this show.
Yeah.
I need to know more.
So it you know, it takes place, the stories, it takes place after the whole Alice thing in Wonderland. Yeah. And the characters in Wonderland put Alice on trial to see if I think she should, because the Queen of Hearts is like, oh, right? And so
okay, yeah.
I was one half of Tweedledee and Tweedledum.
Were you for or against Alice?
We were for her.
Oh, you were for her?
We wanted her to live. Yeah, like we wanted her to survive in Wonderland. We wanted her to stay in Wonderland and live.
Okay.
So the thing was, I went to a smaller grade school, smaller Catholic grade school in Georgetown. And so we didn't have an auditorium. We only had a gym. So they made like risers in the gym, right? Like it was just one stage and there were steps that went up the front of the stage. And that's how everybody got on stage and that's how everybody got off stage. So at the end of the performance, like at the beginning, we all funneled on stage, up the stairs, and we all funneled off stage, down the stairs. And my cohort and I, Stephanie and I, really played it up. Like I knew really, really early that making people laugh was the best feeling in the freaking world. Like it lit me up inside, even as a kid. Like all I wanted to do was be a goof. And so we really played it up. We had our song. I don't remember our song. I remember a bit of the title song, though, from the show.
Ooh, yes, please.
You ready?
Please.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah.
Alice in Wonderland, how do you get to Wonderland? Over the hills and over dale or just behind a tree. That's all I remember.
Nice.
But that was a choral thing, yeah. And then we had a song, and we sang it, and we hammed it up. And then Alice had a solo, like to plead her case.
Ooh, okay.
And all the characters were like the jury, so we were on stage the entire. I don't know how they kept grade school kids on stage for an entire hour and a half and not. But
diapers.
we really hammed it up, and we were like blowing our noses and throwing Kleenexes and so nobody heard Alice's solo because everybody was laughing so hard.
Oh, nice.
And I remember I remember leaving the stage, and at the end we were all like, you know, yay, Alice gets to stay, and then we all did a little dance off the stage, and we were supposed to go out. I remember somebody's grandfather grabbing me by the arm as I was leaving, because they were allowed to do that in the 70s, grabbing me by the arm and going, this was the funniest, I've laughed harder than I've laughed in years. And he was like cry laughing. And so we laughed, we were like, yay, yay, yay. But there was this murmur happening amongst the staff. And the next day, Stephanie and I got pulled into the principal's office because we made people laugh too hard.
Wow.
And that's when, like in grade 4, you learn, oh, so it's like, yeah, we made people laugh and feel good, but she didn't get her moment. Right? So it was a grade 4 learning moment. And I was like, what the F? But yeah, that was my very first performance. And the next year I was one of the vultures and the Jungle Book.
Wow.
I don't remember that song either. Yeah. So,
cool school.
But I learned my community lesson.
And now you said you were one half of Tweedledee and Tweedledum. Were you D or dumb?
I will always say I was D, but then so did she. So does it matter? It doesn't matter. They're buffoons, right?
Yeah, you're
like,
just you're
Isn't
kind
that
of one
the
of
whole joke, or shouldn't that be the joke? Is they can't decide who's dumb. I feel like that should be played out more.
It should be. And when I write the acquittal of the next trial of Alice in Wonderland, when is it when the Queen
trial after the trial of Alice in Wonderland.
The trial after the trial. Yeah, the
retrial
of Alice
that
in
would be
Wonderland.
the appeal, right?
The appeal, yes, the appeal.
Yeah.
Yeah, the appeal of the trial of Alice in Wonderland.
Nice.
So fast forward from Tweedledee, Tweedledum, and your vulturing. What was your very first paid gig professionally in the industry?
I know this too.
Is it in your notes?
For national. Pardon? It's not on my notes. It's not on my notes. It's on my resume. My very first paid gig was for National Geographic before they had like the Discovery Channel and all those split channels. Mm-hmm. So it was a show about cats and like because they used to do like, oh, get into a cat's brain or get into a dog's brain. So they would do a whole show about a cat. I was the cat's owner. I was Tuxedo's owner.
And this is not on IMDb. I don't see this on your resume.
No, it's on my I don't think it's on IMDb. No, it was before. It was like it was in the 90s, I'm sure.
Well, this is why people got to tune into the podcast, because you get the little known fun facts about actors here.
So who wants to be a millionaire? That's your answer.
Right.
National Geographic about cats.
Right. Yeah. There. People will go to your IMDb thinking they're going to find it there, but no, they had to tune in to episode 108 of Laughing Vikings Live to win
phone this
that
friend
$1 million.
To get your answer. Yeah.
Amazing. Well, I think this would be a great little interlude here. We have a little bit of a clip.
Yes,
Brandon, I will do the honors here. Mm-hmm. Will you roll the clip?
This is getting ridiculous. When I said you could move in for a while, I thought a few weeks, a month tops. It's 18 months later. And you're bending my couch, and my couch is bending your spine.
I know, I'll sort it.
And your own toothbrush.
I didn't...
I know what I saw. Look, imagine if you had your own place. You'd have your own bedroom where you could have a bed and you could lay on it all day long if you wanted to without worrying if I wanted to watch The Chew. You'd be a real Torontonian.
Torontonian? That's such a strange word. I prefer Torontoer. It's like Dubliner, you know? It just makes sense.
Get a real job and call yourself whatever you want, please. What do you pay me for?
This is it? Okay. How's your mom?
Still dying.
Your brother?
Still a cokehead. And excited to spend my newfound fortune on hospital bills and rehab, just like a real rock star.
Well, I guess it's a good thing I put a little bit extra in there just for you.
Oh, you love to spoil me.
I've got a really busy day ahead of me.
Make sure the package gets here this time. I'll pay you. No! 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 Megan, no!
She's lucky that's all that got smashed. She faked being a 16-year-old boy that crushed my daughter, and now my daughter is dead.
I can't believe this.
Not here, Clara. Just sit.
Who are you?
I'm the waitress. And she's not coming.
Where is she?
She's safe. And I can't believe you were gonna do it right here.
Goodness.
That was
my.
Cheryl. Hey Lady TV. Nice.
Hey.
Lots of good range. Some fun stuff in there.
Yeah.
Pretty intense.
Kudos to the music. That is actually Russell Sprout, as he is known as now, a friend of mine. Yeah. I was like, dude, can I use some of your music for my? And he's like, yep. So, yeah.
Nice.
Did you say Russell Sprout?
Russell Sprout. Yes, he is now at the time, and he's now a children's musician. He does music for kids and stuff. But the Russell Leon Band is what that's from.
Nice.
Plug.
Interesting.
Nice. Cool.
Yeah.
That's funny. I don't know if you were at that show, Brandon, but we do our Comedy Alley shows here, and there was an audience member this summer whose name was Russell, and I always like to do silly things where I'm like making up nicknames, and we nicknamed that guy Russell Sprouts.
Oh right. Yeah.
Remember that?
I remember that show.
So in my head, I was like, the same guy? Is it the same
now
guy?
I think there's a copyright issue. So
Right.
Oh.
I'm not allowed to nickname people.
we won't say anything.
No, we won't.
Yeah.
Forget I said anything.
We'll delete this from the podcast.
We're not Alice, okay? We're not going on trial here.
All right. Well, let's fast forward to today. Current reality, current time and space. You are now one of our most recent audition session directors here with Laughing Vikings Actors Audition Club. So I would love to get your take on what you enjoy about it, why you pursued this position, and just your thoughts on helping actors with their self-tape auditions.
Awesome. Okay. So Brandon and Lars, you guys know this because I've told you this story, but I found out about you gentlemen through Laughing Vikings Audition Hero through Movie Expo.
Shout out to Taz Garcia and the movie.
Shout out to Taz Garcia. I have this job because of Taz Garcia. I mean, a lot of people have a lot of different jobs because of Taz Garcia, let's face it, right? He's a connector. He's like Lego. Great, awesome, fun Lego. So I did a session. Brandon, I came in and I did a session with you because I'm like, I really need to bump up my self-tape game because I had been doing it for a year, and it was like all the things that could go wrong went wrong. So I came in and I did a session with you, and I left feeling like I didn't care if I got the job at all. I felt so good. Like I felt optimistic, like, and hopeful. I felt very Ted Lasso-ish, if I may use that as a verb. I felt really hopeful, and I was like, that is so cool. And then a few days later, I saw your posting about looking for session directors, and I'm like, I want that. And it's funny because I wasn't going to apply because I didn't know how to edit. I was like, I don't want to edit. I don't want to have anything to do with editing. I hate editing. It's a pain in the butt. But I want this job. So I thought, okay, I'm going to apply for it. And maybe in the space of time, because I'm a pretty quick learner, my Miss Download moniker is from an online tech show that I used to do. So I'm tech savvy. And I thought I can learn how to edit in a weekend. So let me apply for the job and see where it goes. And I had also just read a meme a couple days before, or that said, if a man sees a job posting with 10 qualifications and he has 6, he'll apply. But if a woman sees the same qualifications and she has the same posting and she only has 8 or 9, she won't apply. So I'm like, I've got 2 or maybe 3 of what they're asking for. I'm gonna apply. Why the hell not? It's just, you know, like editing is a technical thing. I can do that. And so I applied, and you were like, yeah, come on in, let's get this going. And I was like, okay. And then you were like, you know, bring in your laptop. And at the time, I didn't have a functional laptop that was powerful enough to use an editing tool. So thank you, Facebook Marketplace and Mike Peterson, for the computer that I have now, which was free. Actually, it wasn't Facebook Marketplace. I posted on Facebook that I was looking for a new computer, and somebody gave me one. But the stress of you not knowing that I couldn't edit got to me one day, and I sent you an email saying, okay, full disclosure, like my heart couldn't take the stress of like lying about my skills. And Lars, you were great. You were like, listen, Brandon really couldn't either when he started that. And so, you know, you fit as part of the team, and so we're in. And so I'm so glad that it happened the way that it happened. So take your chance. Woo! Lesson number 1. I love the environment there. And what I love about, I mean, there's so many things that I love about the process. I love getting sides and seeing what other people are doing. I love to see what's out there. I love to see what's filming, and I love to see other people's creative process. Everybody has their own way that they go at a script, and it's just great to be in that collaborative environment. And it really is like, what, you know, Lars, you say your auditions are our auditions, right? Like, and I got it, but I didn't get it until I did one, and then I was like, oh, I still want her to get this part. I still want her to get this part. Oh, I want her to get this part. And then you're like, you know, then you're checking like IMDb, and you're checking episodes and seeing whose name is where. You're like, oh my God, right? It really is. It's like you're invested in it, but not like you're invested in it, and not like in a want thing, but in a let's be like hopefully optimistic. Let's see what happens, right? Mm-hmm. And I love it. So, I mean, my process as a session director is, you know, whenever I get the ping that or email that I'm like, oh, yay, and I see, oh, sides, and I download the sides right away, and I'm like, and I read them, and I'm like, oh, this is so cool, this is so awesome, and then I kind of have an idea, and then they come in, and the first thing I ask is like, you know, what do you think? Like, what are they thinking? Where are they? Because it's like meeting them where they are, and then, because some people come in and they know exactly what they want to do. And it's like, I want to do this, I want to do this is how it's going to go. And you're like, awesome, I'm here, let me hit the button, let's see what you got, right? And then, for me, it's a real, because for me, I mean, even the self-tapes, they live in our bodies somewhere, right? So it's like, I ask a lot, how does that feel for you? You know, and it's funny because you can tell, even if they're like, oh, it feels good, but they're like, oh, it feels good. It's like, no, actually, it's not sitting in your body right. Let's try it again. Let's try something else. Or are you, you know, is it okay? Do you want to try this? Or do you want to keep going with what you've got going on? Or I have a couple ideas. Do you want to hear them? I always make sure that people are receptive to any input, because sometimes people aren't, right? And you know, you get what they have and what they want to do first, and if they're open to it, it's like, you know what, we got some time, do you want to play? Let's try this, or let's try this. Do you want to try this, or do you want to try this? And I like to give people visuals too. I'm a very feel person. It's like, you know how you would feel if you were like bored dude who did this job 150 million times? Yeah, be that guy, right? Or, you know, you just had a fight with someone and you're really pissed off. Be that guy. How does that feel? Be that guy. Be that person, right? So that's how I go about it. And then it really is a collaboration, and I'm like, it's so much fun. It's so much fun. I have such a good time.
Amazing. And it shows in your energy and your positivity. And I think that's one thing that you didn't really mention is the opening vibe when someone arrives to the studio that you're working with is you're fun, you're excited. Brandon, the same. It's like it's getting people to sink back into that fun, creative, playful mindset rather than, oh, I got such a stressful thing. I got to record this audition and I got a deadline and I got to learn my lines and all this stuff that makes it not fun. And that's always been our theme. We've talked about 1,000 times or at least 108 times we've talked about it. And Tom Todoroff always says too, it's called the play. It's not called the serious. It's supposed to be fun. Yep. So thank you for being so great. We've got the people that you've worked with have given great feedback. And I love what you mentioned too about not having all of the skills. And that's such a great reminder to everyone, no matter what you're doing in your life, pretty much everything is learnable. Like there's not much in our life that you're either born with it or you're not born with it. And if you don't have it, you don't have it. And you do have it, you do have it. That's such a rare thing versus every skill these days, especially in the times of YouTube University, is maybe a weekend to learn something like, and I'm wondering too, is Cheryl and Brandon, are you guys two sides to the same human being coin? Because your story and how you discovered this was almost exactly the same, where you initially saw it and were super excited, and then the fear factor came in and the imposter syndrome. Who am I to be doing this? I don't know how to do this, this, and this. I don't have a laptop, don't know how to edit. And then you were able to smash through that. Whereas I never was ever thinking about that with either one of you. Brandon confessed that early on, and he was like, oh man, I was like so stressed out. I wasn't going to apply at all. I was like, I can't do this. And then took the leap, and like that. Yeah, that would have been for both of you had you decided to not apply. What a huge loss to Laughing Vikings and Actors Audition Club, but also to all the actors and clients and to the industry in general, because it is, you nailed it, Cheryl. What you said is, you are part of the creative process. It's like the reason it feels really good and the reason that you feel very invested is you are helping people create a piece of art or a piece of a movie or a piece of a TV show. So yeah, it's them that book it and then they get to go shoot it, but you're feeding their ideas, that your energy is feeding into them. They're feeding off your energy. So you are having a big impact here, which is why I love it. You love it for all the same reasons that I love it too. So it's great.
Yeah. And Cheryl, I'm very excited for when you get to hear that someone booked booked a day with your audition tape. And
oh yeah, you're gonna freak out. You'll probably cry.
When I found out, I jumped through the fucking wall.
You'll probably cry.
I'm like, ooh, yeah.
And like one of the proudest moments for me was there was a guy that was just in here today doing an audition named Nitish Sakuja, who when we started working together, he said, I've never booked anything from an audition, and he cannot say that anymore. Right. And it's one of my proudest moments is that he cannot say that anymore.
Yeah, funnily enough, he had a handful of direct bookings where just based off his headshot or his online profile, he was just booked for things, but hadn't booked an audition yet. And now he's booked a couple things, I think.
He's booked a lot. He's been booking a lot.
Yeah, he's on fire. Cheryl, something that you mentioned I want to dig into a little bit. You mentioned that not only are you're it's like the classic thing in the commercial where it's like, not only do I work here, I'm also a client. You started as a client. You found out about us through Taz and the Movie Expo, booked a session with Brandon. That went well. You had a great time. Sounded like it reinvigorated your energy in auditioning and your fun factor. But can you speak to the struggles and challenges and issues that you were having before you invested in a service like ours to get some audition help? What were you feeling? What were you thinking? How did your audition setup and process look?
So because I had been in the industry before. This will get there. I'd been in the industry before, and then kind of had a bit of an overwhelm moment, and a bit of a breakdown. Brene Brown calls it a spiritual awakening. It was a fucking breakdown. And I was like, I'm not supposed to do this. I'm out, tapping out. I stopped paying my actor fees. I cut up my actor card. I'm like, I'm just supposed to be seeing dead people for the rest of my life. That's what I'm gonna do. And this time when I came back, what was really key for me, and what has always been key for me, even as a kid, but not knowing how to put it into words, community is my fucking jam, man. It's like there isn't anything that can't be done if you're in community. So when I came back this time, I was like, I was very focused on building a community and talking to people. And even because there are times when I can be a bit of an introvert and I don't want to go anywhere or do anything, but I force myself to get out and meet people and to be like, you know, what do you do? And but also be really picky about who's in that community, right? Because you can get people in the community who are like, oh, this freaking stupid industry, it's this and it's that, right, and it's this, and it's, but there are a lot of other really awesome people who are in it, who are hopeful and optimistic and like know that it's ever changing and it's ever growing. And so when I got back into it this time, I was really looking about community. And so Laughing Vikings and the Actors Audition Club, for me, like when I stepped in and was greeted, saw the dog, and then, you know, clap them in, like, woo, hey, Cheryl, woo, yeah. Saw Luna there. Where's little? Yes, there's Luna. Hi, little. Ooh, she's so girl. When I walked out the doors, I had a feel, and it was that community feel. And when I'm really in the presence of community, it makes it. I get verklempt sometimes. I can, you know, like when I watch. Even now, when I watch that MacGyver episode from the 90s where they save those two kids from the well, the Amish people come together with the building people because the two kids are in the well, always still makes me cry. Like even that little, like, community makes me cry because it's so important. And so when I walked in to do my first session, I was shy because I didn't know you guys. And when I don't know people, I am somewhat shy, but it doesn't take long for me to start verbal vomiting. And as soon as I make someone laugh, and I'm like, I'm in. So, but the feel of the community that I got when I was there, and then when I left, I was like, I can ride this community high. And this is like a pocket that I want to hang out in. Like I want to be a part of this community. So I was like, I want to be a part of this community. And then the universe was like, be a part of this community. It was just too coincidental.
Amazing.
Right? So.
I love that so much, and I got to tell you, the reason that I love it so much is because I've always put a lot of thought into, and Brandon knows this, how do people feel the second they arrive, just visually and vibes, and is there some music, or there's some, like the way this place is set up and what's around, like it's kind of wacky, and there's some lots of colors and some props and some books and some instruments and all kind of fun stuff. And I wanted to have that clubhouse feel rather than a typical studio might have kind of a sterile technical feel to it. Whereas like, am I walking into a hospital right now or a fun place to play? And then also leaving too. So we have that. And I think that goes back to that quote. It's often quoted to Maya Angelou. I'm not sure if that's who said it, but people won't remember what you say or what you did, but they always remember how you made them feel. And also in Todoroff's class, we always talk about first impressions and last looks, or beginnings and endings, and people don't really remember in the middle. But and I always think about this at parties or when I'm arriving somewhere, when you arrive, how do you make people feel? Or when people arrive to you, how do you make them feel? And then when they leave, how do you feel? So if you're hosting a party, and that's often how I think about Laughing Vikings, is I'm the host of this fun party clubhouse. When a guest arrives, they got to feel good that they are arriving, and I want them to feel good when they're leaving. and then the middle is kind of the middle. So thank you for validating our years of scientific research to create this environment.
Yeah. It's awesome.
And sorry, were you going to say something?
Nope.
Oh, I missed you. Okay. And I wanted to announce here, and this is for all of our session directors. I've been often I'm working on the business and behind the scenes and a lot of the web stuff. This is for our clients as well. So all of the actors out there, we've got a new web portal to help you with all your audition needs and to book your sessions. So everyone can go to www.laughingvikings.com/auditions. But maybe we'll share a screen here. Hang on one second. Laughingvikings.com.
Here, why don't I pull it up, Lars?
Okay, well, what I want you to pull up is not that one. I want you to pull up www.laughingvikings.com/Cheryl and see what happens. So this is what I did. I didn't ask anyone's permission. You guys are probably going to hate me for this, but I made you all your own web pages, your own home pages. So you all individually for your business as a session director. And I want to treat all of you guys not like employees, but you guys are all freelance partners, business partners. So I have created a page for all of you. So people land on here, elevate your auditions so that you can book your dream role in TV, film, and theater. Life's too short to not do what you love. Learn how one actor went from stressful DIY self-tapes and booking a role in Hollywood blockbuster, plus 2 series leads in 12 months. So right there's access. So all your people can get access to our free Audition Hero workshop. And then if you scroll a little further, Brandon, we got a little introduction there telling people what Actors Audition Club is all about. And scroll a little further. We've got some testimonials. Actually, back up for this. I'll go through some of this. So for some people might be watching this episode and it's your first time. So what do we offer? What do we have available? Our audition service number 1 is virtual audition sessions where you can connect with one of our audition session directors 7 days a week. So you can hit those last minute turnarounds and last minute deadlines. And the sessions always include your reader, who's a professionally trained actor with audition and casting experience. They're also your director. They're your editor because they learned how to edit, even if they didn't know it in the past. And that includes the file transfer. So when people book, you can choose your session director. So we got multiple session directors. Pick your date, pick your time, easy online scheduling. You can book 7 days a week. And we aim to get those files sent to you and your agent within about 30 minutes or less. And then that's a wrap on you. What else do we got to offer? We have in-studio audition sessions, specifically here at our Toronto studio. And as we expand, we'll have other studio locations. Same thing, when you book the studio, your hour session includes the reader, the director, the editor, the file transfer. Keep scrolling, Brandon. We got the weekly podcast. Here we are, where we get to talk to actors, comedians, filmmakers, industry professionals, so you can glean from other people's expertise and other people's stories of success and struggle and best practices and connect with other growth-minded actors and people in the industry. Scroll it down. We've been doing some monthly meetups and Q&A sessions. By the way, we're overdue for one right now, so we'll have to announce that and do one next week. And that's where you can hop on a monthly member meetup. We used to do them in person, but now we've been doing them via Zoom. Where you can get some pressing audition questions answered. You can collaborate with other TV and film professionals from around the world because we've got an international membership now, and you can share resources and best practices. So just an opportunity to connect with other people and share, like Cheryl was saying. Cheryl is community, right? Keep going there, Brandon. And we're also working on this from all of our podcasts and from all of our episodes. We've got a ridiculous database of video training that we're compiling and putting together so that when you do join Actors Audition Club, one of the things you can do behind the scenes on your own time is go into our library and you can look up specific training topics like how to find more auditions, how to improve your preparation and your rehearsal process, common audition mistakes, how to find new agents, actor marketing, all of those kind of things. So that's something that we're building out as well. There's the wait list. So when you encounter actors, or when actors encounter us or you guys as session directors, they can join the priority wait list and keep scrolling. Boom, there it is. Hey, I'm Cheryl. So we've got Cheryl's little bio here and a headshot, and then keep scrolling. Scroll. You can join the wait list. There it is. And then here's a booking portal. So people can book a virtual audition session as a non-member. They can book as a member. You can book a studio session as a member or as a non-member. And scroll. We've got some frequently asked questions. But there you go. And I just want to announce this to you, Brandon. Yours is laughingvikings.com/Brandon. We've got Sebastian is laughingvikings.com/Sebastian. We've got Jesse Elgood is laughingvikings.com/Jesse. We've also got Aaron Reed, Monine Daly, and Deanna Shinsky. And you probably guessed it. It's laughingvikings.com/Aaron or .com/Deanna or .com/ who'd I miss? Monine. And we've also got it for Amy Emanuel as well. So everyone's got their own specific page. There it is, Brandon.
Wow.
Brandon's checking out his. He's like, really? I got my own? Yes. So now you all got your own websites. You all got your own online businesses there that's specific to you.
Wow.
Or people can hit up the generic one is /auditions. And that one's got a picture of my face on it. But all of you have got your own links that you can be sharing in your Instagram bio,
Awesome.
on your email signature, wherever you want to share that on social media, so that people can directly find you. There you go.
Great.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Hey.
Happy birthday. Happy
Woo!
birthday. That's my present to all of you.
Nice.
So
Does that mean we're not getting a holiday bonus?
we'll see about that. Yeah.
Too early? Too soon?
Yeah, at least no talk of holidays till December 1st.
But but at the end of October they start running Hallmark holiday movies.
Yeah.
They do start early, Lars.
By the way, I don't know if we talked about this last week, but I saw this. I had posted on my Instagram. What time of the year do you believe is too early for nog? I saw eggnog at, I think it was Freshco, our grocery store here. It was September 26th, and they had a section of Christmas eggnog. And I'm like, what kind of psycho is drinking nog in September? Thoughts? Feelings? Should nog be an all-round thing?
I could use some nog right now.
I don't nog.
I don't mind nog.
Cheryl says no.
I don't like nog. So
Cheryl
as far as
says no to the
nog
nog.
and
I don't like it
pumpkin
with
spice,
rum.
yeah,
I just like the
You don't
nog.
like it with rum?
I hate it with rum. It's
Ooh, you need to
disgusting
try
with
it.
rum.
Maybe you're missing. Are you missing? What's the stuff that you put on top?
Nutmeg.
Yeah, you're supposed to put nutmeg on the top,
Oh,
and it's supposed
I
to
didn't
be
know
on ice too. It's supposed to be on the rocks with rum and nutmeg. I'll
What?
make you a rum and eggnog. But I'm with you. What is it?
Nutmeg to me tastes like dirty cinnamon,
Yeah,
like cinnamon that people have been stomping on.
I think that is what it is.
I can't.
They're like, what are we gonna do
Or
with all this cinnamon we spilled on the floor
Nutmeg?
here?
What are they doing with the cinnamon? Nutmeg? What are they
Nutmeg
rubbing
and
the cinnamon
nog.
on? Nutmeg?
In my opinion, I
I don't
think
get it.
nog is a word that should only be said seasonally. It's like you can't be rocking July nog.
What day are you
No.
putting out the nog? Like
I think
you
December
want a
1st.
grocery
I think
store-
I think Christmas is the December. That's it.
December.
December.
Fair.
December 1st. To me, there's two words that should only be said around certain times. Nog is December. That's a December thing. If I hear someone in June, July talk about nog, I'm like, this person has mental issues. And the other word that's very, very seasonal, which I don't know if you guys noticed, is lest. Lest we forget, be very respectful on Remembrance Day. But it's like you don't hear people ever say the word lest in 11 of the other months because it is a seasonal thing. So nog and lest, they have their place. And anything outside of that is insane. That's my take.
I
on it.
concur.
All right.
On both of
There we
those, I
settled it.
agree.
Listeners,
long as mini
viewers-
eggs are sold year round, I don't care. Anything can happen.
also eggs too. Also eggs.
Yeah, don't take away the eggs.
Right.
What?
Nog. What
well,
is nog?
I'm a Laura Secord Easter cream egg girl, so I'm like, they only
Cream eggs are
happen.
fine.
Yeah, but they only happen up until Easter, and then they're gone. So you got to buy the shit out of them 2 days after Easter.
Right.
Yep. As long as they don't take away the mini eggs, I think we're all okay.
There you go. All right.
Everything
here
will
till Easter,
function
and-
as normal.
Right? They're only here till Easter, and then they're gone. But your diabetes sticks around all year.
Yay! Da, 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 da.
Nice.
All right, Cheryl, we're steering the ship back into port here. Brandon, you've got a question, I'm sure.
I do, and it's one of my favorite questions, Cheryl. Can you guess what it is? You don't need to, I'll tell you.
How old am I?
What?
How old am I?
No.
Okay.
What is your dream project that you aspire to create?
I've written it already, actually.
Ooh, okay. Tell us about it.
It's a sitcom. It's
Okay.
called Suck This, and I've written both parts, the part 1 and part 2, the pilot.
Okay.
I've written the final scene, and I've written a 10-episode story arc, first season story arc.
Fuck yeah.
Log line?
You know what? Yeah, I don't know the log line yet, honestly.
Well,
but
why is it called Suck This? What's it about? Where does it take place?
It's based on my experience working in a sex shop.
In a sex shop?
Yes.
Nice.
Interesting.
How long did you work in the sex shop? Personally.
Too long.
Too long?
Long enough to get a really good education, but not long enough to try on crotchless panties. Does that make sense?
Well, there's still time.
I guess. I don't know how
Right?
much time that is.
I don't know that period of time. Yeah.
So you've written
Yeah.
it. So what's next? What's the next step in the process? Where is it at? What we're gonna manifest?
I have some people reading the pilot. Like I sent the pilot out to some people. Actually, nifty story. The first version of the pilot I sent to a very well-known creator who may or may not have been involved in House and The Good Doctor.
Ooh.
Nice.
And he actually sent me notes.
Nice. That's great.
Yeah. And then several years, 3 years ago, just before COVID, I was down in Costa Rica with my friend and her family, and her stepbrother happens to be a really well-known Indigenous filmmaker, Shane Belcourt. I don't know if I can say his name. Anyway, he, we were like sitting around one night, and I was bragging. I'm like, yeah, well, so-and-so read my pilot, and he's like, I'd like to read your pilot. And it's one thing for someone on the other side of the continent that you don't know and have never met to read your pilot and give you notes in it. But it's quite another thing when someone that you know and you admire and who you know is really good at what they do, you read it. And so he read it. And then the next day we're sitting on the beach and he's like, I have notes for you. And I'm like, okay. And he freely gave of his time and his knowledge and cracked it open like a freaking nut. And when I came home, I rewrote the pilot so that it is what it is today. It is what it is today because of him and his questions and his ideas and his thoughts. And so, yeah, so, you know, it's, so it's putting together a pitch deck.
Get it. Well,
Yeah.
put it out there.
Right?
Just so
Yeah.
you know, many things that have been iterated on this podcast come true.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there you go.
Is what we do.
Yeah.
This is just
I
a
love, and I
manifestation
guess the other thing,
vehicle.
I love writing. Like I love script writing. I love all of it. Like you know, the treatment part of it, the idea part of it, the scene part of it. I love all of that stuff too. That really gets me jazzed. So it's neat to also go in and see what other people are writing.
Beautiful. All right. Well, let's make it happen.
Yeah.
Brandon, we got one more. Yeah, one more question is
Yes.
What advice would you give to your past artist self?
Damn. I prepared for the "What would you teach people" question. What advice would I give my past artist self? So one of the things that really stopped me when I was growing up was the environment that I grew up in, loving, awesome, dig my family, love my family. They're amazing people and I love them and they're supportive. But they had an idea of what life should look like, right? Like go to school, get a degree, become a teacher, get married, have a family, that kind of stuff. Very early on, I knew that that was not me and it didn't fit right. And I guess, I don't know, I guess I would like just do what feels right for you as an artist. And it's okay that there are people who say, oh, I don't know, I don't think that's a good idea. It's okay because it's not a good idea for them, but you do what makes you feel good and you do what lights you up and brings you joy.
Great advice.
But how do you say that to a 12-year-old? Like, do what brings you joy. Do what's fun. Do what's fun. Have fun.
Yeah. I think that's exactly how you say it to a 12-year-old.
Yeah.
And then you
fun.
say it over and over and over again so that the weight of the world doesn't beat it out of them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. We talk about that. It's like all of our dreams, whatever whispers you have in your head about what you're here to do and what you aspire to do, they were given to you and not to other people. Otherwise they would be their dreams. So don't even worry about having to convince other people. It's just that this is your path and that's their path. And that's about it.
Yeah. Diversity happens in all different kinds of ways, right? Yeah, which is great. Yeah. So are you seeing that?
Yeah, I'm not really sure what happened there, but I think Lars just might have a problem with the camera. He might have a problem, and it's okay. He'll join us when he can. Yeah,
I guess that means we're done.
Well, we are going to be wrapping up soon. Is there anything else you wanted to talk about? You said you prepared a question about teaching. Is that true?
So when you send out the email, you say, what would you teach people, right? Like what's something that you would teach people?
Yeah.
Or
what do you want to teach us today?
So this is really great because I had no idea what it was going to be. And then I did a class last night. So I'm going to reference this book. It's called Burnout. The Secret to Unlocking the Stress Cycle.
Okay.
And I talk about this because I talked earlier about how things live in your body, right? Like your scenes, you do your scenes and they live in your body, your emotions live in your body. As a massage therapist, I am really clear that our emotions get housed in our body and we need to process those emotions and get to the other side of it. So when we talk about stress cycles, like that fight or flight response, it's like when a director says action, your body, it clicks in and you're like in it, you're in the zone and you're in the, and it's like you're in the, and you do your thing. And then when he yells cut, your brain is like, okay, it's over. But because those feelings live in your body, the stress cycle starts when he says action, but if the stress cycle doesn't complete when the director or she says cut, because in order to complete a stress cycle, it's not an intellectual thing, it's a physiological thing. You have to complete it in your body. So like after scene study classes, after reading lines with people, after doing a self-tape, after doing an audition, after being on set, right? You need to complete that. And there's a really cool, quick way to do it. I mean, there are a lot of ways. Get the book, it's awesome. It goes into a big thing, but there's a really cool way that I'm gonna, there you are.
I'm back.
There's a really cool way.
Cheryl's teaching us something.
You'll have to rewatch the podcast.
Lucky for me, this ends up on all podcast platforms, so I can listen later on any podcast platform because I subscribe.
Subscribe. Smash that subscribe button.
Yeah. What Cheryl said.
So talking about feelings and how they live in our bodies, and when we do a scene, the feeling is enveloped in our body. And when the director yells cut, Intellectually, we know it's over, but because it lives in our body, we have to physiologically complete the stress cycle in our bodies. And I'm going to show you a really, really quick way. And what I love about this is it's something like I learned as an actor, but I learned it as a massage therapist when I was in school for massage therapy. So it's like all of my jams mashed together in this yummy compote, which I love. Compote, great word. It's called progressive reflexive relaxation. And it sounds really big, but it's not. And so it's relaxing the emotion out of your body by stressing your body and tightening up your body. Because muscle-wise and physiologically-wise, your body is at its most relaxed after it contracts. So, you know, like you were doing your gun show, right? Oh, mine's working. But as soon as you release the contraction and put your arm down, your arm is the most relaxed that it will be after that contraction. So progressive reflexive relaxation is it's a full body thing, and you can do it in like 2 minutes. You usually start with your toes, and you scrunch your toes up, and you tighten your toes, you tighten your feet, and then you relax them. And then you tighten your bottom legs, and tighten the lower part of your leg, and then you relax them. And then you tighten your abs, and you tighten your butt, and you tighten your legs, and then you relax them. And then you tighten your whole body, and then you relax them. And then you tighten everything, and that actually flows that emotion, that gets that emotion, it moves it through your body, releases it, so that you're not carrying around the stress of the scene study or the time on camera or that, you know, because when we carry around those things and they get stuck in our bodies, our immune system gets low, right? Our digestive system doesn't work right. We can't sleep right, all that kind of stuff. Anyway, it's a whole, but I mean, yeah. So progressive reflexive relaxation.
I love that. Yeah, it reminds me of that. I think it's a book, The Body Keeps the Score, which talks about trauma and stress living in your body in different areas. And then it's, I don't know what the term was, but in conservatory, at Todorow's Conservatory, Janice Orlandi, who was our movement and Michael Chekhov teacher, she talked about that too, about when you get in these heightened states and of emotion and being inhabiting the life of the character, having to release that after you go away. Yeah. Otherwise, you're in this weird heightened like you're almost it's like you could become a crazy person eventually, where you're
in fight or flight, right? Yeah. You're in fight or flight. As soon it's like that, it's in fight or flight, and if you don't like. You know, the tiger can go away, but just because the tiger's gone away doesn't mean your body needs a cue that the tiger's gone away. You do that by hugs too, which is great because hugs work too.
There you go. Hug it out.
Look at us showing off our guns still with our hugs.
It's a true gun show.
I flex when I hug. Oh, watch out.
You have to, or else it's not a real hug. And it's
yes.
Butterfly hug.
Brandon, you got anything else? I think it's about that time, yeah?
It is about that time. So thank you so much for joining us today, Cheryl.
Yeah, Cheryl, you were great. Welcome aboard. Thank you so much.
Love you guys.
Keep watching. You want some audition help, go to laughingvikings.com/Cheryl, or you can go to the generic page, laughingvikings.com/auditions. Also, make sure that you, if you haven't gone through the Audition Hero Workshop, you can get access to that on that page. When you do have your next audition, you want a little extra help and you want to invest in yourself and invest in some coaching and some professionalism, then be sure to hit up Actors Audition Club for some help.
Mm-hmm.
There it is. And I think it would be only fitting that we end in some progressive, say it again, progressive relaxation. What was it?
Progressive reflexive relaxation.
Progressive reflexive emphasis.
Relaxation.
Brandon, get the guns up there. Get the guns up there.
It's been so much fun. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. And again, if you are just listening right now, you are missing the gun show.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye.